Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions, and we are gathered here to understand the basics of the Fusion Accounting Hub. So this is our fourth session. Hmm. So we were seeing the configurations, the core configurations of FAH, while we have created our source system and then through this spreadsheet, and then we have verified all the elements, and then we have checked the prerequisites, and then we have begun with our core configurations. So moving further, we'll see the agenda for today. So the core configurations we will see today are the description rules, supporting reference, and the general entry rule sets. Once we have created the general entry rule sets, all the components will be uh, defined in that, mapped in that general entry rule set, and then this rule set will be assigned to our accounting method, and the accounting method will be assigned to our ledger. Once we have completed the core configurations, we will see how to download the template of the transaction data that needs to be uploaded. So first we will revisit our figure once, which we have already referred in the yesterday's slide. I'll just give a brief on that. So we are configuring the general entry rule sets here for our accounting method, for which we have already configured the general line rules, accounting rules, mapping sets, custom formulas or the user defined formulas, and we have seen the implications of the conditions too. So today we will be doing the remaining setups beginning from the description rules, and after the description rules we will see how the supporting references are created or assigned, and then we will create our general entry rule set. Once a general entry rule sets is created, we can assign them to the existing accounting method, which is a user defined, or we can create a whole new accounting method, and then we can assign this method to our ledger in the specify ledger options task. In the figure 2, you can see what do we mean through the description. I have highlighted the description of this general entry. So we can create description rules. As per that, the Oracle will create the header and the line level descriptions. So this is the description where the entry description is provided. This is the header level information. So you can see the loan amount and the tenure of that loan, the currency, amount, and the customer name. So this is all created through one of the general description rule. So using the description rules, we can define the elements of the description that appears on the subledger journal entry at the header or the line level. Using description rules, we can define the um, the definitions determines both the content and the sequence in which the elements of the description appear. That means that in the rule, we will have to specify the whole thing. Like if you want the loan thing at the beginning or in the middle, or you want the amount at the starting, then based on that, you have to define your description rule. You can assign a condition also to the description rule to determine that the description is selected for the display if the condition is satisfied. As we have seen how the how the condition work, we can is create the priorities. So based on those priorities, our description rule will be visible. That description rule will be available. Then a description rule can be defined with the combination of the source and the literal values. If the source are used in the rule, the accounting event class associated with the source determine in which subledger general entry rule set the description can be selected and used. If you assign any condition to the rule, it will determine the description is selected for display only if the condition is satisfied. If the description rule is defined with sources, the sources must be assigned to the accounting event class that is assigned to your general entry rule set. So based on your accounting event class, the description rule will be created. We build the descriptions using the available sources in the application. So we will go in the instance and create our own description rules. So this is our instance. I am on the home screen now. So from the settings and action tab, we can go to setup and maintenance. From setup and maintenance, we can select from setup area of here our application Fusion Accounting Hub, our offering. And then in the accounting transformation, we will select our created application that was FAH loan and click on apply and go to task. So this is the subledger application that we had created through our the template, the worksheet. Okay, so I have selected this in scope. I have told that we can use the task configure accounting rules to configure all the steps in the accounting rule in one go, and we need not to remember what is left or what is done. So I'll select description rule over here. We can do this by the individual tasks as well. So the first rule we are creating is the loan cash line information. So name I will take as loan cash line information. You can provide the short name as FAH, sorry, FAH cash line info. They should not be in small case, they should be in uppercase letters. We can have digits and underscores with no spaces. Once this is saved, the short name cannot be changed. The description, if you require, you can provide. And then based on the priority, this rule will be applicable. So once you click on add icon, this window will be appearing. So I will type loan here, and then from the source, I will pick up the account number. So here my application is FAH loan. I'll click on search. Now I want the account number here. Okay. Now in this only I want the account currency and the original balance. If you want to add any literal here, you can add that like currency, and then you can provide the source. So I want the default currency here, default currency. Okay. And then, oh, sorry, it is taking the previous value. Let me just change that. Default currency. Okay. Okay. So it has taken the default currency now. And the other thing I'm adding here in is the original balance. So from the source, I will just give the original balance from here. I'll click on OK. If you want to add any condition based on your bank account or based on your customer name, as per the requirements of your business, you can always add the conditions here. And if you will click on add icon, you can create another description rule for the priority 2. So if you can see at the back, rule 2 condition is available. So this is what? This is the rule 2. Based on those conditions, the system will select which rule needs to be applied. So I'll just click on save, and I'll click on save and create another. We'll create another one. So see, this has come as blank. Now we will create the loan header description. Here I will show you how in the description rule you can add the formulas. Loan header description. So now I will click on create. Here I will write loan colon space, and then I will enter from the source the account number. So where is our account number? Yeah, here. Okay. So what data when we will, sorry, when will we will be entering the data from our template, um, the value that will be present in the account number will be displayed here beside your loan. Then the term. So term also is from our source. Term means the tenure of that loan. This is term. So term will be like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So we have created one of the, due to some instance issue, this is taking the same defaulted value again and again. So term 01. So term will be like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So in the formula here in description, we have created a custom formula where we have use the nested formula if then else, where in the if value I have specified that if the term or the source value term is equals to 1, means if in the data we enter 1, then the system will pick year, and else it will pick years. I will show you that formula just a minute. And then I need the account currency. So account currency is here. Okay. Then the original balance. I need the original balance from the source here. So these are based on the client's requirement, what all detail they want in their header and line level to be displayed. Based on that, we will create our description rule. So this will include your source values, the values that are coming from the source data, and the literals, the values like I have entered this customer. This will be visible as it is. Now I will add the customer details. So I have customer here. Is the source. Yeah, this is customer 01. Now I'll click on OK. And this way my header description is created. As I have said that I will show you the user defined formula I have created for this years in description. I'll just press done here. So once we'll click on done here, if you go to your configuring accounting rules, actually I shouldn't have pressed done. Okay, if I click on description rule once again, and as I have visited um this step, so if I go to another step, a tick will appear here like this. So this will tell you that what is completed and what is remaining. So if you see in the user defined formula, this is years in description. If I click here, it will show me the expression. So let me just zoom out here. So see, if term 1 is coming from the source, so if the value of term 01 is equal to 1, if you have entered in data as 1, then it will pick year, else it will pick years. So this is the simple rule created, and this is being taken over there in the description. And now coming back to my description area, so I will create just one more description before proceeding. It's the loan line information. So I will create one more loan line information. Loan line FAH. Okay. Now coming to this add icon, I will again write loan. I will pick the account number from the source. FAH loan search. Account number. Okay. Account currency I want. Account currency. Okay. The original balance I want. So again, I will go to source. Origin balance. This is the original balance. Original balance. Okay. I will just put a space between this so that when the description rule is applied, they are not togetherly connected. Now I will just put a dash, then the line type. For this also we have created one formula, loan line type. So this is the loan line type. If you will see in the type, you can see the formula and then the application in the which this formula is created. So loan line type, it is just a simple concatenation function that we have put and added the loan line type value with the loan line type. Okay, so save and close. If you want, I can show that too. Just I'll click on save and close. So in the user defined formula, you click on loan line type. The formula created is concatenate. Concatenate will join two string values. So line type and the value of the line type is concatenated. This is the literal and this is the value. So this is a simple rule created which we have used in our description rule. Now the description rule part is done. We have created the three description rules. We'll see how we can assign them to our general entry rule set. Now moving to the next slide. So I'll come back here. So defining the supporting references. Supporting references store additional source information about a subledger general entry at the line level. It is a powerful tool to capture transactions attributes in journal lines. We define supporting references once and then we can reuse them by assigning sources of different event class or source systems to the same supporting reference. Means you can just create the supporting reference and then you can assign it to various uh, source systems and their event class. Means you need not to create it again. Like if customer I have created, I can use it across the application and all the source systems. You can link one source per event class to each supporting reference. The subledger or source system uses the supporting reference name to store the source value. This standardizes support reference information, even if it comes from disparate source system. So there can be two types of supporting references, without balances and with balances. So first we will take without balances. So without balances will have few informations, not the balance, not the amount. So you can assign up to 30 supporting references without balances to each general line. Means in a single general line you can have 30 supporting references which will give you the information about that general line, the information that is not there in the general entry. You can use them as the tags to report on entries and reconcile entries back to source system. For without balances, you should consider if you can use a general entry header or line description if no balance is maintained for a supporting reference and no supporting reference details are needed for reports. Using supporting references instead of description may impact accounting engine performance. If it is a general information that you need to provide, then you can have the description rules for that. It is not necessary to define the supporting references there. And but if any reporting need is there, then we should go with supporting references and to highlight balances in the supporting references are not transferred to GL. So for with balances, a limit of 30 supporting references can be defined. Means in total only 30 supporting references can be defined with balances. This establishes subledger balances for a particular source and account for a particular combination of support references plus the account combination. For with balance, select the with balances tab in the supporting reference definition to have balances maintained when the supporting reference is associated. So for balance sheet accounts, if you create these supporting reference balances, they are carried forward to the first period of the accounting calendar year. And for P&L account, supporting reference balances are set to 0 in the first period of the accounting calendars years. A limit of 30 supporting references with balance can be defined only. So we can consider adding more source assignments to the predefined supporting references rather than creating a new one. Example of how you may want to use the supporting references balance are to facilitate reconciliation back to subledgers and source systems by tagging general entries with the transactions and reference attributes. We can create the balances by dimensions not captured in the chart of accounts. Reporting using dimensions not captured in the chart of accounts. Enrich Oracle Fusion Business Intelligence applications reporting on subledger journals. Profit and loss balances by dimensions not captured in the chart of accounts. We define supporting reference to hold additional supporting information for detailed account balances maintained or reconciliation and reporting requirement. As an example, a loan information supporting reference can be defined to track two segments, the credit status and the loan contract number. Sources will be assigned to each of these segments, and the source values for each of these segments will be used to create separate balances. Now we will move to the instance and see the created supporting references. Okay, so here is the screen. Yeah, okay, supporting references. So when I will click on this screen, the supporting references, you can see there are already created supporting references which we haven't created. They are already created. So these will be with balance, if you can see here, with balance, and there can be supporting references without balance which are already created here. Okay, so without balances and with balances. So you need not to do anything. You just have to uh, click on add icon here, add row, and then any of the field which is not present here, you can add it here by giving the name, the short name, and the description, and the status is active. Okay, once you have created this, you can provide the balances to this supporting reference. Now I will see the one which are created. I am not going to create a new one because there are already too many created. So no need to create the new one. See if I create, okay. So I will let tell you how to assign these supporting references. I will again come to this page. Configure accounting rule, supporting references. See, this is account manager. So the name of the account manager for external transaction systems can be provided. Okay. And this is added. If you click on select and add here, you can add it to your application. Okay. Like if I go without balances and anything which is not in our uh, area is, these are various created. Okay. So like I am adding product. Okay. Product, the supporting reference I am adding. So I'll click on product, and if you see product is assigned to these two subledger. I will click on add, and here I can provide my subledger application. Click on search. So all the sources which are present will be coming up. So to which source you have to assign this supporting reference, you can specify. So we can assign the product to the line type information. Okay. Okay. I'll click on OK, and apply and okay. So the FAH is coming up. Likewise, we can assign it to more application. That was nothing in error actually. Okay, reference I can click on apply and then okay. This was the okay. So once for one when it is assigned, now click on save. So this has been saved. Likewise, you can assign the supporting references which are already created here, and in with balances you can assign the one where you want to keep the balances. And if you go to assignments, here also you can search to view up thousands existing supporting reference assignments. So if I click on any of the supporting reference and the subledger application, for our application nothing has been assigned. If I click on search, okay, so no data is there to display. If I click on AHC loan, okay, let me select this. So this gives us the detail of the all the assignments that are there. Um, okay, I will okay. So for subledger application AHC loan, what all assignments are created with which general entry rule set will be available here. So you can see for loan origination, AHC loan origination, general entry rule set, location, customer, account number, customer category, loan term, loan officer, location, all these supporting references are assigned to your general line rules mentioned in this general entry rule set. If you want to delete, you can delete it by clicking here and then delete assignment. And if you want to add, you can do that also from here. This will show you all the assignments that has been done for your application. So this was the basic idea of the supporting references. To update or upload the supporting reference with balances, here in the navigation, you can go to General Accounting and Generals. Once whole your application is defined, means it has been mapped with your accounting method and your ledger, then through this you can provide the supporting reference balances. If you come here, there is a task adjust supporting reference balances. Here you need to specify the ledger with which your application is associated. So we haven't done it yet, but I am telling you for the information. So say if I select one of the ledger, any of the ledger for that matter, UK primary ledger or US primary ledger you can take, and the general source will be your application. And then you when you will click on open spreadsheet, it will give you the ADF like template, and there you can update or adjust your supporting references balances. Okay, if I click on open spreadsheet, yeah, this is the sheet that is downloaded. Okay, then it will ask you to log in and then you can view the details. For showing you, I will just log in. Just give me a second. However, this supporting references does not have an impact on your GL balances. This is just for uh, additional information. So this is our ledger name, this is our source name. Here we can select the category, the accounting period, then the whole segment value of our chart of account, and then the accounting class, and then we can enter the values in this debit and credit. And this way we can specify our supporting reference balances and then submit from here. So this is just to provide you an idea how we can adjust the balances. Coming back to our PPT. So this was all about the supporting references. Now we will see the general entry rule set. So here you can see the whole the general entry which will be visible once our general entry rule set is defined. So the entry description will come from your description rules, the line description will come from your description rules, these account will be coming from your account rule, which account needs to be debit and which account needs to be credit will come from your general line rule, and this will be your supporting reference. Based on the mapping sets, we have also defined the account rules. So mapping sets will also be used while computing this combination, the account combination. So this is an idea how our general will be appearing when all the things are placed in our general entry rule set. The subledger general entry rule sets provide the definition for generating a complete journal entry for an accounting event. Select the options to define the subledger general entry rule set for a particular accounting event class. See, the accounting class is also specified here, the cash clearing and the loan receivable. So we need to we need to specify these also in our general line rules. So predefined subledger general entry rule sets are provided for all Oracle subledgers. If specific requirements are not met by the predefined subledger general entry rule set, we can copy the predefined definitions and rename and modify the copied definitions and their assignments. The subledger general entry rule set assignments can be made at two levels, the header level and the line level. So the components of the subledger general entry rule set will be description rule, general line rule, and the accounting rule. The assignment at the level of at the header level, it defined the general header information, and the line assignment defined the general line accounting treatment. So what will be your header assignment include? It will include your accounting date, as you can see here, the accounting date. Then accrual reversal accounting date, if there is any accrual reversal date that will be available, or the description rule. These in the three requirements, only the accounting date is in these three fields, only the accounting date is a required field, but other two can be the optional. Means if you want to have the general description rule at the header level, you can provide that. If it is not required, it can be skipped. Assignments at the line level. So you can define multiple subledger general entry rule sets for an accounting event class or accounting event type using the line assignment of the general entry rule set assigned to the accounting event class or type. A single general entry is generated per accounting event per ledger. The following can be assigned to your general entry line: general entry line description rule, the general line rule, the account rule, and the supporting references. So here you can see this is the account rule, this is your general line rule, this is your line description, and these are your supporting references. We'll move in the instance and see how we can create them. Come to home. This is our home page. Just a So sorry. Uh, yeah. So from the settings and actions, I'll go to setup and maintenance. I'll select my offering, Fusion Accounting Hub, and then the accounting transformation. Now you can go from this task, configure accounting rule, or you can come to manage subledger general entry rule sets. In the scope, please check your application must be there. Then click on add to create a new account rule. The general entry rule set. Here you can provide the name. So I will begin with the interest accrual. So I will provide the name as FAH interest accrual. FAH interest accrual. Event class is FAH loan. You will have to specify your event type here. So based on your FAH loan, your event type will be coming. So you pick interest accrual 01. See, once I have entered that, it has faded and out. You can provide your chart of account here, US chart of accounts. Then in the general entry, the accounting date, it is taking by itself as transaction date. And description rule you can provide as line header description. Loan header description, sorry. So this was available as a description rule. Now I will add the general line. So I will have to first specify the line type. The line type will be credit, debit, gain or loss, or gain or loss. Okay, like this. So I will select credit. Here I have to provide the general line rule. So I will provide FAH interest income. So when this entry will be triggered, the FAH interest income, the accounting class interest income will be credited. I can provide the default account combination rule here. Then these are the segment rules which we have created through the account rules only. Uh, for company, I can search it from here, all the rules that I've created. Just a second. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let me select the account one. Yeah. So these are the one we have created. The company one is not created here. So this is the FH interest income account. Then the if we have the cost center one, then we can provide the cost center. So this is cost center one. And based on the segments, if we have any rules or the mapping sets, we can assign it over here. The simple thing is this. And then the description. So we have three description rule. I will provide loan line information here. And then one more line I want, the debit line. So I will click here debit. The rule I want is AHC interest receivable. Okay. Then here I will provide this default account, and likewise I will provide FAH interest income account, and cost center as the cost center mapping. And for product I don't have any rule, and here also the loan line information. So this is how for one of our event type we have defined the journal entry rule set. Now I will click on save and create another. Now this I will create for loan origination. So I will write here FAH loan, sorry, origination. Here short name I will take as FAH loan origination. Remember, no space should be given here. Description isn't mandatory. Then you can select your event class. It will provide you the detail of event type. Based on that, you can provide loan origination here, your chart of account, which is optional, US chart of accounts. Then the accounting date, it is taking as transaction date, which is good. We need not to change that. Then the loan header description. Then here we will provide the general line. So what all entries can be there while loan origination? Keeping that in mind, we will provide the details over here. Means you can have loan fee here, loan fee accrual, loan receivables. All these account you need to specify here. So FAH loan fee account class, it will be taking based on your general line rule, the loan fee. Then here the same default account. Here I want to give in the account the loan fee account. Okay. Loan fee income, cash I have to give the cost center by mapping sets. Then the loan line description I want to give here, the loan line information. So loan line information. Then again I will create one more credit line, FAH loan fee accrual. This is the unearned fee income. Okay. So we will this is coming up based on your general line rule. We have to specify this there. Then the FAH natural account I will pick up for this. Based on our mapping set, the account will be picked up. And here I want the balance sheet cost center, means the 000 value. And here also I will map the loan line information. So these all account rules and general line rules should be created beforehand, before specifying over here. So you need to be careful while providing those all details. Now again, I will click on add icon, FAH loan receivable. This will again be the credit account. Here I need to provide FAH loan receivable credit. This FAH default account provides the value as suspense account. If no rule is applied, if no correct account is picked, it will be standing in your suspense account. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Here I don't need to specify any cost center and loan line information. Now the last line will be the debit line. So here I will take the cash clearing. Cash clearing. And then again FAH default account. Here I will pick the cash clearing account. And then here I will pick the loan cash line information. Okay, so I'll click on save and create another. Now we have defined for two of the event types. Now the third one is remaining, which is the loan payment. Okay, so I will write it here FAH loan payment. Then short name I will provide as FAH capital underscore loan underscore pay. Okay, event class I will provide as FAH loan. Event type, okay, it will come as loan payment 01. Chart of account you can specify in here. US chart of accounts. Description rule will again be loan header description, accounting date, transaction date. Now I will click on add icon. So first I will create the debit line. FAH cash clearing, FAH default. Account I want to give cash clearing account and then loan cash line. Okay. Then credit. Okay, credit will have FAH late charges, or I will create for FAH loan receivables credit first. Loan receivables, AFH default account. Here I will pick the natural account. Sorry. And then the loan line information in the general line rule. I have not defined the product or the income and intercompany segment rules. Based on the business requirement, we can have rules for each of our segments as required. So when you will be providing this segment rule, this account combination rule will be overridden based on the segment rules. Then again credit. Here I want to have the late charges. So here it will come as finance charge, then FAH default account, then FAH natural account. Here I want, and then the loan line information. Again, I will click on add icon, credit, interest income, FAH interest income. It would be credited. So default account, ASC interest income account we want. Then okay, here also we have cost center account. So I will specify both in both of these segments, the FAH cost center and then the loan line information. Now click on save and close. So this way we have provided all the three general entry rule sets for all of our three event types. So this is how the general entry rule sets are created. The general entry rule sets will be easier if our account rules and the associated um, assignments to this rule sets are properly defined. So we need to be very thorough while creating the general line rules, as they will form the basis of creating a general entry rule set. And we the first and foremost thing, which is the analysis of the source system, will provide you the clear idea what can be your general line rules and what can be your general entry rule sets based on the event types of that event class. So yeah, we have configured this, the general entry rule set. Now we will be assigning it to our accounting method. So revisiting this figure. So see, our general line rules, account rules, description rules, supporting references are mapped to our general entry rule sets for the subledger application. And the standard accrual method will be created now by mapping this to our general entry rule set. And once our standard accrual method is created, I will assign it to our primary ledger. So, okay, so now just giving a brief. Accounting methods group subledger general entry rule sets. This facilitates the definition of consistent accounting treatment for each accounting event class and the accounting event types for all subledger applications. This grouping enables a set of subledger general entry rule sets to be assigned collectively to a ledger. For example, a subledger accounting method can be defined to group subledger general entry rule sets that adhere to and comply with the US General Acceptable Accounting Policies (GAAP) criteria. By assigning a different subledger accounting method to each related ledger can create multiple accounting representations of transactions. Okay, you can assign different subledgers to your each related ledgers. Accounting rules can be defined with either a top-down or bottom-up approach. In the top-down, we define the accounting method, followed by the components of each rule must be assigned to it. In the bottom-up, we define the components of each rule and then assign them as required. The create accounting process uses the accounting method definition with active general entry rule sets assignment to create the general line in the general entries. When an accounting method is initially defined, its status changes to incomplete. The status will also be incomplete after modifying a component of any accounting rule associated with the assigned general entry rule set. So we need to complete the accounting method. This accounting method must be completed. So we can do this by activating its general entry rule set assignment so that we can use it in the create accounting process. The following definitions are used to define the general entries and are applied as updates to the accounting method. Updates to the predefined accounting method, assignment of general entry rule sets for an accounting event class and accounting event type from the accounting method page, assignment of accounting methods to ledger, activation of subledger general entry rule set assignments. Okay, you can update to a predefined accounting method, or you can assign your general entry rule set for an event class or event type from the accounting method page only. And you can assign your accounting methods to ledger then, and then activate your subledger general entry rule set assignments. You may update a predefined accounting method by end dating an existing assignment and create an assignment with an effective start date. You can create the assignment of general entry rule set for accounting event class and event accounting event type using the accounting method page. The following should be considered for assigning a rule set. If when the accounting method has a assigned chart of accounts, you can use journal entry rule set that has the same chart of accounts and are not associated with any of other chart of account. You can assign the existing journal entry rule sets or create a new one. Assignment of accounting methods to ledgers. Once you have assigned your journal entry rule set to your accounting method, you can assign it to your ledger. If the accounting method has an assigned chart of account, it may be used by ledgers that are using that same chart of account. If the accounting method is not defined or assigned to any chart of account, that accounting method can be assigned to any of the general ledger. Sorry, any of the ledgers like primary or secondary. Activation of subledger journal entry rule set assignment. You can activate the subledger journal entry rule set assignment from the accounting method page. You can also submit a process for that. Activate subledger journal entry rule set assignment process to validate and activate your accounting setups. So this was the brief. Now moving to our application and see how we will assign the accounting journal entry rule set to the accounting method. So as you know, okay, as you know that we have some seeded accounting method that have been provided by the Oracle. So I will show you those first. Still running. Yeah. So this is now if I go expand the search option, uh, I'll click on created by application. Yes, search. So created by application means the one which are defined by the application. Now you can we can use these as well, but if you want to incorporate your general entry rule sets, your SLA in that, then you cannot use these predefined ones because these are the one which are defined by the Oracle. So you can create the duplicate of them and then you can make the changes. Okay. So you can provide the name. Okay, you can like I was saying, you can associate the chart of accounts if required, or if not, you can just click on save and close and create this method. Okay, if you have the accounting method specified to a chart of account, then only the ledger that have that same chart of account can use it. If the accounting method does not have a assigned chart of accounts, the accounting method can be assigned to any of the ledger. Okay, so I'll click on save and close. I'm not specifying any chart of accounts here. So now you can see all the created subledger applications are visible in here. So this is the one which is created, which is the subledger application in the Oracle itself, the assets, payables, payrolls. These are the Oracle applications, receivables, and these are the one which are created by the users like AHC billing, FAH loan, which we have created. So we'll focus in our area. So this is the FAH loan, but all the applications which are there in this system will be available in here. You click on add icon here to do the general entry rule set assignment. Click on event class. All the event types associated with this event class will be available. Now click on event type, interest accrual. You have to specify the rule set which we have created. Okay, why the rule set is not coming in here? Hmm. We have already created the rule set. Let me just check. Subledger general entry rule sets. Yeah, here we have created them. Hmm. Okay, actually the status is in showing as incomplete. Yeah, we have to activate them. I missed this thing. Yes. Now the third one, actions, change status to activate. Now you can see here the status as active. Okay, done. Now wherever we in the accounting method, here I will search for my created method sorry, US standard accrual 01. We are creating just for demo purposes this method. Now FAH loan event class, FAH loan event type will be interest accrual. Now in our rule set this should be available. Mm. If we click on create, it will take us to this page, the general entry rule set. But the rule set that we have created should be available here. But I think the system. Okay, let me try to add the other line. I'm editing, it is bringing me here. Yeah, okay. So the rule set is coming here. We can put the start date and end date also there. Due to some system problem, it is not taking in, but if you click on edit, it will take you to the rule that we have created. So I'll just click on save and close. Okay, and now the third one I have to add. Click on add FAH loan. Loan payment. I'll again click on add it as the name is not coming because of some naming a short name error which it is showing, maybe due to that. Now I'll click on save and close. See, this is short name attribute is required, maybe due to that it is not coming up. So I have added all the three rule sets here. Now I just need to activate this to activate this rule set assignment. So this will take some time. Okay, so the status will change to active once this is done. Okay, you can click on save and close here. Because of some naming convention, it is giving us an error here, but I'll show you the one which is already created. Okay, so I'll move to use US standard accrual, the method. US standard accrual method. Here we can see the AHC loan will be there. AHC loan. So these are the event class added. This was created by FinMPL, FinIMPL. So if I log in through FinIMPL, just give me a second. Sign out. For AHC loan, the same configurations have been done, which is properly created. And I was creating this with you as a demo. So I will be using the AHC loan for the transaction upload too. So we'll quickly go in the application. And if I go to setup and maintenance, now the accounting transformation. Here in this scope, I need to select AHC loan. Apply and go to task. Now come to manage accounting method. Manage accounting method. Here you select US standard accrual. You search for US standard accrual, the accrual method. US standard. So this is the one, US standard accrual. This is also using the same chart of account, the US chart of accounts. It has been specified here. So, okay, this is the AHC loan. If I click, if we add the event type with the correct rule set, the status will come as incomplete here. Then you need to activate the status. It will take some time. It will run a process. Yeah, so it is completed. Click on OK. The status changes to active. This means the within this accounting method, this general entry rule set assignment is now active. So we can use this event class and event types in the source system using this US standard accrual. Once you have assigned the general entry rule set to your accounting method, just go to your primary ledger, specify ledger options. Here you need to select your primary ledger. So US primary ledger, let me select. Okay, this is US primary ledger. This is US chart of account. The accounting method is US standard accrual. Okay, just we need to check this. If it could have been any other, then we need to select our accounting method that we have created. Okay, so it was already US standard accrual. Just click on save and close here. So this way we have assigned our primary ledger to our accounting method. Okay. Now to download the template for manual uploading, let's see what is the whole steps. We can import transaction data from a source system that has accounting entries created in Accounting Hub. After completing the source system registration and account rules configuration, you can upload the transactions using a spreadsheet. Here we are seeing the manually upload transaction data. To upload the transaction data manually, follow these sequential steps. Download the transaction data template using the Manage Subledger application task. So here, first we will download the transaction template. Once that template is downloaded, we will save the file on our local drive. We'll extract the three files which are there inside that, the metadata.txt. Metadata file contains the key information about the source system, then the XLA TRXH CSV. This file contains the header level columns for the transaction data that can be populated. The column names matches the short names of the source that were included in your transaction information worksheet during the registration of your source system. One column that's available in the header and the line file is the transaction number. This transaction number links the header and its corresponding line information. XLA TRXL.CSV is the file which contains line level columns for the transaction data that can be populated. The column name matches the short name of the sources that were included in the line information worksheet during the registration of our source system. So the data that we have updated it our source system worksheet will be available as information here, and then we have to fill the data in that information. We populate the header and the line CSV file. Both the files may contain column names that aren't used by the subledgers, such as character 9, date 2, long character 1, so on. We can leave those unused column blank when transaction data is populated in this sheet or in the file. Then we need to, once the data has been populated, we need to rezip these files. So select and compress the three files. The file name must remain same as the downloaded file. As the best practice, Oracle recommends that the zip file has a unique name that includes the subledger, source, and the date stamp. The zip file must be beginning with the XLA transaction. We recommend you suffix the file with the subledger source name and the date to identify the file uniquely. For example, XLA transaction retail loan 050422 dot zip. This is telling you the first prefix XLA transaction, which is very important. And then retail loan can be your SLA application, and 050422 can be your date, 5th April 22, like that. Upload this zip file to the UCM, the Universal Content Management. And you might be remembering, we have in the user defined job roles, we have provided the accounting hub integration duty role. To perform this step, your user must be having the general accounting manager job role also. Otherwise, you must add the uploaded data for accounting hub import role to the job. So in the FAS combo user role, you need to check that integration duty role, and then you have to assign it to the user and run the LDAP. Okay, so this we have already seen in our previous session. And now I am telling you the importance of that. So here you will require that rule. Okay, before this it was not required, but here you require that FAS combo user role for this process. So we will just download the sheet today, and then we will see the data to be populated and all in the next upcoming session. So in the manage subledger application task, you have to click manage subledger application task. Click on that. Your subledger application details will be appearing, and here is the option to download template. Click on download template. So a zip file will be downloaded here. You can see it here. I'll click on show in folder. Okay, now you can unzip it here, extract all. So you can keep this file somewhere else too, like I'll keep it on the desktop. Okay, select folder. Okay, we can just extract them there. And if I click on into the, so here are the three files that have been extracted. I will have a new folder here, and I'll put them in this folder. Open this folder. So these are the three files: the metadata file, the XLA transaction H, and the XLA transaction L. So if I open this metadata, it is providing us the information like the creation date, the application short name, and the date format, which is very important: YYY, YMMDD. And these are the two header file and the line file information. If you click on this CSV file, it will give you certain fields. So these fields are the fields which we have entered as the source information. In the source system, when we were uploading the source system, we had provided these details. So those same details are coming in here. And same way in the line, information file, what all data we have entered are coming as these header here. default amount was the default one, default currency was the default one, and transaction number will link it to your header line. And this conversion date, rate, type, we had provided this um, in the template where we have entered the line information for upload registering our source system. So this is the whole process. Once we have uploaded the zip file in the UCM, we run the import accounting transaction process, and then the journals are created and posted. So this is the whole flow which we will be looking in tomorrow's session, and it will be our last session. And the core configurations we have already completed. Just the transaction processing is remaining. So thank you all for joining, and uh, see you tomorrow.